black ash cheese, Humboldt fog, and yogurt with 11 live probiotics. These are all world-famous American goat milk products. Creamy and easy to digest, goat milk has long been made into many specialties of this country, and although goat meat is twice as expensive as beef, demand for goat meat in the U.S. has nearly tripled in just 2 decades. This is simply because it's delicious but super low fat compared to other meats in the typical American diet. Though the U.S. is the largest importer of goats, making a profit from goat farming here isn't easy. Many livestock were killed by coyotes in the past, and today, their range is expanding at twice the rate of other carnivores in North America. So, how do American farmers solve this problem? And how do they raise more than 2.5 million goats to meet this booming market? If you've ever visited a goat farm, you might be impressed by how friendly they are, like little dogs.
But not all goats are like that.
Male goats or bucks are rather aggressive and domineering, so farmers usually separate them from the herd, except in the fall from late August to early January, the goat breeding season. Female goats or nannies are pregnant for about 5 months. When their pelvic ligaments loosen up, farmers know they are about to go into active labor. With the farmer's dedicated care, the newborn baby goats and mama goat can finally relax. Goats have a high twinning rate, but according to studies, the average mortality rate for kids is 10 to 18%. An antibody-rich colostrum, which nannies secretes only in the first 36 hours after birth, is an essential nutrient to reduce this rate. The risk of death for nannies is also high. A few hours after giving birth, farmers must ensure that the placenta has been delivered completely. Otherwise, it can cause septicemia, meaning blood poisoning and even death. After about 8 weeks of bottle feeding, the kids are castrated to prevent inbreeding. Now, they gain at least about 0.3 pounds per day, but breast milk can no longer provide enough essential nutrients for this growth rate, so farmers have to take them out to pasture so that nannies can wean them. Unlike in the past, modern dairy goat breeds are crossbred to produce more milk, so their diet also requires more grains to provide enough energy, protein, and calcium. Just like other dairy animals, their milk flavor is what they eat. That's why Redwood Hill Farm in California, the first U.S. goat dairy to be humane certified, grows its own feed for over 300 dairy goats. This has helped them preserve the delicious milk flavor, which is free from antibiotics and harmful hormones for the past 56 years. California has the most goat farms in the United States, and so besides Redwood Hill Farm, there is also Cypress Grove Dairy, with a herd of up to 1,400 dairy goats. Traditional hand milking is impossible with this large number of goats, so they have switched to a modern milking system called pit parlor. The first thing other farms usually do is disinfect the goats' udders with iodine. But at this farm, they play jazz music. They've tried different types of music, but this is the only type that the goats enjoy and don't startle when they're milked. This soft milking tube gently squeezes and releases, similar to how baby goats suckle. The milking process only takes a few minutes while they are nibbling on food and may not even realize they are being milked. Each year, this farm harvests about 6,000 gallons of goat milk. The freshly harvested milk is then cooled and transported to Cypress Grove's renowned creamery facility. Over the past 4 decades, tons of cheese have been produced here and shipped across the country. But Humboldt Fog stands out in the international cheese market as America's first soft ripened cheese. Goats were first domesticated in the Fertile Crescent about 11,000 years ago, but it wasn't until the 17th century that they were brought to America by Spanish and English explorers. They are very good at adapting to different terrains and climates with their browsing habit. This means they prefer to eat tall plants over short ones, unlike other livestock. Therefore, traditional American farmers often apply this multi-species grazing model to both save feed costs and improve the quality of the pasture. Today, it is still practiced by many large and long-standing farms, such as White Oak Pasture in Georgia, with a large herd like this. Farmers have to rotate pastures every 3 days because they eat so quickly. This also helps reduce the risk of worm infestation in goats. But this freedom also comes with a major risk. Coyotes. Goats have very good eyesight, so they can go outside at night on their own. But this is also when coyotes go hunting. They often target kids or even lone adult goats separated from the herd. Hence, adequate fencing is always the first thing U.S. farmers carefully install when raising goats. But as the number of goats killed by coyotes decreases, the goats themselves become the troublemakers. They are intelligent animals and constantly learn how to break fences and escape from pens. To stop them, many U.S. farmers have started using electric fencing. This will give the goats a mild shock, only from 4.5 to 9 volts, which serves more as a psychological deterrent than physical harm. While this may increase the electricity bill, solar panels have helped reduce costs on large farms aiming for sustainability. Besides daily work, farmers also have to do many other jobs on the farm to ensure the best development of the goat herd, such as building shelters from the rain and cold so they don't get sick. Trim their hooves regularly so they don't get sore feet or hoof rot. But that's not all. U.S. goat farmers still have to do a rather controversial job, which is hunting coyotes. And more than 67 coyotes can be found in one night on this farm. In 2015, 83,000 goats died under the sharp teeth and lightning-fast reflexes of coyotes. This number accounts for a whopping 65% of the total goats that died that year. According to National Geographic, the U.S. kills over 476,000 coyotes each year, but still can't control their numbers. This animal is thriving in 49 out of 50 states and also gradually heading toward the western U.S. So, in addition to hunting, guard dogs such as Anatolian Shepherds or Great Pyrenees are also professionally trained by farmers to protect the farm. They do this job very well. Many farms also keep donkeys and llamas because they are naturally alert, know how to defend themselves when in danger, and are loyal to the goat herd. These protective measures have ensured that these meat goats grow up healthy. When they're about 8 to 9 months old and weigh 60 to 80 pounds, they will be sent to a humane slaughterhouse. Here they are stunned and quickly bled to minimize stress. Some processing plants may use scalding and dehairing methods to improve carcass hygiene. After removing organs and cleaning, the carcasses are graded and inspected based on fat and muscle content. Then they're chilled to prevent bacterial growth. Finally, they can be cut into pieces, packaged, and distributed to the market and consumers. In 2022, the U.S. exported $1.47 million of goat meat and imported $128 million, mainly from Australia. Therefore, there is still a great demand for goat meat in the country. And that's how the goat farming industry in the U.S. has developed sustainably over the years.